They come in pairs. There are a bunch of pairs called Pyramid of the Sun and the Moon.
Yeah.
In our case, Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun and the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon. Why did I name them that way? Several levels. The first one, they are two biggest structures here. The second one, the Sun Pyramid, with its shadow that moves as the sun moves on horizon, the shadow moves just before the sunset. The shadow covers the Moon Pyramid completely. The top of the shadow touches the top of the Moon Pyramid, and the bottom is touching the base, the foundation of the Moon Pyramid. So, it is like the message from the ancients telling us that the rule of the sun and the day is over, and the rule of the night and the moon starts. The third level, Sun Pyramid, is the male energy, definitely. And I remember when I started 2005, 2006, I thought I was on the top of the world because the male energy, self-confidence, strength. And then the government forbid us to dig there anymore in 2006. And after that we went to the Moon Pyramid. It's private properties, 2007, 8 and 9. It was good research. We were discovering artificial terraces and so on, but the energy was female, emotions, no more strength. If you want to be balanced, we need to have both. That's another level, and so on. That's why Sun and the Moon.
And dragon and love.
Dragon is a symbol for the knowledge in China, Peru, Mexico. So I've given my respect to the very knowledgeable builders. Temple of Mother Earth, I think it's self-explanatory. Our planet is our mother, just we behave as we are conquerors. We've been conquering the planets, we've been using and abusing all the resources. She's our mother, she gives us life. If we continue behaving like this, she's gonna find a way to get rid of us because we are not worthy. And the love. Well, what is our biggest weapon? It's not the nuclear or biological or chemical or any other weapon or AI, artificial intelligence. These are all possible causes why we will disappear as a human race. It is the love, the feeling of love, which should be the cosmic force, the cosmic binder, including our planet. So I'm looking forward for a day when the love will become that binder between us, when social distancing will be the thing of the past. Social distancing, when mentioning it, is not a medical term. Medical is physical distance. You have a virus, the flu virus, you stay home, don't go to your parents' house. Social distancing means every person is your potential enemy. And that's not us. We are social beings. We are beings who depend on handshaking, on hugging, on kissing.
Oh,
Right?
right?
That's us. That's us. We are smiles.
Yeah.
We are not tears. Except for someone, which is fine also.
What has changed in you since being in the pyramids?
Well, big changes, I think, last 16, 17 years. You know how they say, oh, it was amazing ride. Well, it was amazing ride.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that for decades, I had been prepared for this. It's like one invisible hand was taking me, you know, to Central America, to China, to Peru, to Cambodia, to Australia, to Egypt, and then when I was ready, I came here and I recognized. We are all energies. Energies communicate. This is old and ancient energy. Every time I pass on the freeway, the pyramid, I look at it, there is something warm around my heart. There is a communication. We can communicate with the water, with the stones, with the crystals, with the other persons, with the trees, with everything. Energy communicates. So I think that was one of the major stuff, to have respect for everything that's living, and we can learn the lesson from literally anything that crosses our path.
Do you think you were connected to building those pyramids?
Do you think we all were not connecting to building the pyramids?
Probably. We all are.
The fact that you're here is also self-explanatory. You always go back to the place of crime. So yes, we've been here in different phases. Design, building, using, abusing, shutting down, reopening. Tomorrow again, it'll be phase when it will be all closed, but with the soldiers around. That's okay. These are all different experiences. And we learn from those experiences. And we take them with us. Not the physical body, which is for one use only, but the soul, yes. All interesting experiences.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know that you brought here several psychics.
Psychics.
Yes, and performed past life regression
Okay.
on the
Akashic
history.
record readers.
Yes, all of them. What did they say? Is there a
I wrote the
common
book
theme?
which is in our shop, that yellow facade. That's the only official souvenir shop, and those books can be purchased only there. I think there are just 5-6 left out of the whole edition. It's called Ancient History from Behind the Veil. I spoke to 6 Akashic record readers. You know, Akasha is supposed to be a library of knowledge in spiritual realm. So when reading about it a couple of decades ago, I was thinking, well, if somebody has the access to Akasha, then the information they're going to get should be the same for everyone. Because you go there, you talk to the guardians, you ask them for the permission to open the Akashic records on certain topics, and you are getting pictures, movies, information. So I said, okay, let me talk to maybe 3 of them so I can compare their statements. Everyone said, okay, let me do 6 of them. What I did, I applied the scientific protocols in the spiritual aspect of our lives. It does not happen very often. Because until then, there were some Akashic record readers who were writing the books, and you read about whatever, Pleiadians, people from Orion, or people from the past. But then you read it, you take it or you leave it. How you can check? How you can verify? I said, let me talk to 6 of them. And they should have different level of experience. And really, I had a person with 2 years experience, another one with 40 years of experience in Akasha record readings. And then I said, they will not know for each other. They did not. They could not communicate to each other. They did not know what I was going to ask them. And of course, they did not know me. Because if they knew me, then they could maybe prepare, oh, this is the guy, let me see on Google, Bosnian Pyramid. So I would bring them to my home, and I've shown them 25 slides of different archaeological sites. Machu Picchu in Peru, the pyramids in Mexico, Egypt, China, Bosnia, Stonehenge, and so on. My questions were always the same for all 6 of them. Who, when, how, and why. And I was filming them. And I even had another person writing that book, because the person who writes is always a little bit subjective. And that's how the book came into existence. So, for example, we have a question, Machu Picchu. When? Well, Machu Picchu, officially, that was a royal retreat for Incas 800 years ago. That's what they teach us in school, that's what they teach you at the site. When I went there a couple of times, I did a documentary there, I could notice that there are at least 4 distinctive construction styles, 4 distinctive civilizations. The first one were using blocks of 250 tons, the biggest tons. Not from there. Physical chemical analysis proved that material was taken from Bolivia, 150 kilometers away. And to Machu Picchu, there are no access roads even today. You use the train, and only last couple of kilometers you go with the buses. That was the first one, then tens of tons blocks, then 1 ton blocks, then the fourth one where, for me, I could see that the Incas were using small stones, making smaller sections, making primitive roofs, and this is where they were bringing their royals. That's what I knew. So I spoke to those people, I asked them who, when, how, and why. The question when is always interesting. The first person told me 800 years back, which matches Incas. Another one said 2,000 years. Another one 5,000, 12,000, 55,000, 440,000. Now imagine that I take these dates and bring it to the mainstream archaeologist. I said, okay, this came from the Akashic record readers. What would he say? He said, okay, 6 different persons, 6 different dates, this is nonsense. He would disregard it. And you could not blame him. But then, when I was thinking, hey, based on my knowledge, well, I witnessed several different cultural layers, several different civilizations. So then I realized that the readers were getting just the pieces of the big puzzle. They were not supposed to get all the knowledge. And this is what this book is about. And you asked me specifically about what they said about Bosnian pyramids.
Bosnia, yes.
The greatest common ground for all of them were the Bosnian pyramids. And I knew why. Because I was bringing the energy from Bosnian pyramids, so unconsciously, they could get some of that energy that would help them to define those answers better. All of them, but literally all of them, all 6 of them, claim that the Bosnian pyramids were not built by Homo sapiens. It would take me a long time to explain like who and why, and those who really have an interest, the books can be still purchased. I think it's just $20 or something, but it's soon to be done. Any more questions?
What
Yes.
about the tunnels? What do you feel they were for, and why are they so far away from the pyramids?
2.4 kilometers, 2.3, 2 kilometers. I believe the network was about 100 kilometers. Not 1, but 7 levels. By the way, I agree with the Akasha record readers about 7 levels. So far we discovered entrances to 2 levels. 476 meters above the sea level and 471. The tunnels are actually not just the communication network, because if you want, for example, to connect 2 pyramids, you build 1 tunnel, 2 tunnels, that's it. You don't build a labyrinth. What we have here is the labyrinth. It goes like this. Let's go to the aspect of the energy. What we measure inside, electromagnetism, electrical field, ultrasound, infrasound, orgone energy, negative ions, a lot of different forms of the energy. If you have the straight, laser straight line, the energy does not move. Some of you might know that Feng Shui or Feng Shui, as you say incorrectly. Feng Shui is always saying that the water should be moving with the, with the curves. If it goes straight, not good energy. But when you have a labyrinth, a great number of passageways, then the energy moves and it's getting stronger. So imagine this scenario. The tunnels feed the pyramid with the energy from different directions. It becomes very strong energy machines. You fill the tunnels completely, you shut down the flow of the energy. She becomes very weak energy machines. She still functions because we can measure it on the top, but she is very weak. Yes?
The stone that talks about the gateway being closed and finding the key to open the gateway. Can you say something about how this message was decoded and what it means for you?
On one of the blocks we discovered 8 symbols. 7 out of 8 belongs to the runic symbolism, a runic form of writing. When it comes to the forms of the communication, there are 4 different levels. Now, you will not learn this from anyone, anywhere. The first form of communication are the signs. For example, sign an arrow. An arrow is a sign. Go left or go right. That's very simple. The second level are the letters, alphabet. Our alphabet, A, B, C, D, is the second form of communication. The letters mean nothing. Letter B means nothing. But if you put 5 letters together or 10, you're going to get words. And words have meanings, right? That's the second level of communication. The third level are the symbols, symbolical forms of writing, like hieroglyphic symbols in Egypt, Kabbalah, today's Israel. The Old Testament was written in Kabbalah symbols. Mayan symbols in Central America. These are symbols. Why they are superior? Because the symbol has the meaning. For example, one symbol means the birth process. The birth process, in the case of human beings, in the case of animals, in the case of galaxies, it's like a global meaning with many sublevels. All. Another means movement. You and I walk, we move. We are on the plane, we fly, we move, and so on and so forth. So in order to understand the symbols, you had to have very advanced knowledge. But then the next problem for us to understand it is the first symbol communicates with the one next to it. They communicate, forming a synergy, a new meaning. For example, the Mayan symbolism, the symbols would always come in sets of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they communicate left to right, right to left. They communicate above and below. They communicate diagonally. So in order to understand what 4 symbols represent, it required a great knowledge of understanding. This is the third level of communication. And the fourth level of communication are energy symbols. So it takes everything that symbolism means, it is the general explanation, but energy symbols means that it affects the surrounding area. When you go to the park, you will see our green crystal pyramid. Have you seen the pyramid across the construction site of tennis courts?
Yes.
That green pyramid has the 4 symbols. The symbols number 2 and 3. The first one is peace. Peace, which is from 1960s. Who remembers 1960s? Maybe you and I. We remember 1960s. Happy time. Hippie. Peace. Even though that symbol is not American, but it was used most in America. It came from UK. It was peace. But the second one is love and joy. These are runic symbols. They are energy symbols because they affect the area around. Love and joy. These are 4 levels of symbols. Now you're asking about the third level, how it was deciphered, how it was translated, right? So 7 symbols are runic symbols. We send them to 2 persons who deal with the runic symbolism. Both of them are in the US. And we got the translation, it goes like this. The gate has been closed. We are at the standstill. We will have to defend ourselves and conquer until the cosmic gate is open again. This is one translation. And the second one is very, very similar. It simply has one addition. When it mentioned that the gate has been closed due to the big water, maybe biblical flood or something. So this is a translation. And you ask me also, what does that mean? Really, what does that mean? What is the cosmic gate? Who was caught here? How come they could not leave? Sometimes the answers, the questions give us half of the answers. All right. Little
Wow.
bit, right?